Nearly 100 employers have now been stripped of their accreditation for abusing the troubled accredited employer work visa scheme.
It comes after Newshub discovered another group of migrants in a property in South Auckland who now find themselves in the middle of a fresh Immigration New Zealand investigation. Nick Trubridge has this exclusive story.
The complaints, the investigations, well, they've just kept coming since these scenes in August. Those on the coalface say to expect more of the same.
There are really bad people out there who for a very long time has been wreaking havoc in the migrant communities.
94 employers behind cases just like these have now had their accreditation revoked. 34 immigration investigators are currently picking through more than 370 probes. That's more than 10 cases per staff member, 202 of which are directly tied to the troubled accredited employer scheme.
Not only in Auckland, but what we fear is this happening nationwide.
Newshub can reveal one of immigration's latest investigations centre on this property in South Auckland, visited by Newshub late last month. Inside we found more than a dozen Filipino and Vietnamese nationals, a kitchen crammed with dishes, washing hanging around the property. Now what you can't see in these pictures is the smell in this courtyard. It absolutely stinks. There's rubbish strewn all over the place, and just to my right, a vegetable garden that's seen better days. The one English speaker, Victor Radone, used to live here. He was granted an accredited employer visa in May, but says the employer didn't provide enough work.
I was disappointed because the job rule that was stated in my employment contract isn't the same as what he asked me to do.
Newshub's reached out to the employer, who's also given jobs to several other men living here. He totally denies Victor's allegations, claiming Victor walked off the job in August. Redone told us that's not the case. He was ready, willing and able to work, but the work dried up and some of his wages hadn't been paid.
So it's miserable. It's hell.
But the employer told us he's the victim of malicious, unfounded allegations, adding all of his evidence is now with officials. But when pressed on other employees not being paid, he conceded his companies had faced cash flow issues, delaying some wages. Redone, meanwhile, has received a letter from immigration saying he's eligible for an exploitation visa and that it's credible exploitation may have occurred.
We came here to have a better opportunity, provide better life for our family back home.
This latest mess, just one of hundreds investigators must untangle.
Well, somebody have dropped the ball. The due diligence and the screening, I think it was not done properly.
Immigration has made changes, but the complaints keep coming.
All right, Nick, there's been an arrest in another case?
Yeah, that's right, Simon. A 4-month investigation, this one. A restaurant and bar owner is the employer in question. He's been arrested and charged with exploitation in relation to 3 employees. It's a fairly serious charge. It's up to 7 years in prison or a $100,000 fine. 4 months to complete one investigation, I think. In that story I said immigration are dealing with about 370. You can do the math. Not all of them are going to take 4 months, but that shows how long they can take. A lot of discussion at the moment on ministerial posts in the government. It'll be interesting to see who gets immigration. Of course, we know Erica Stanford, the National Party MP, has been pretty hot on this. If she does get that portfolio, we've seen over the last few months that there is going to be plenty of work to do. So we'll see what happens there.
A lot of work ahead. Nick, thanks so much for the update.